Men that date white women, there's something different, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you know what it is. Like you oh, okay, Childish Gambino, I can see that. Jordan Peele, okay, I can see that.
That's kind of racist or colorist.
C-Bro.
What's going on, y'all? It's your boy C-Bro. Some of y'all may know me as Cliff Braun way back in the day. Long story short, I'm back on YouTube and it's Black History Month. Yay, black people. We're great. What I've decided to do is react to a Jubilee video. Do all black men think the same? I am black. I am men. I think I qualify. So check this out. See what they talking about.
I am expected to have a big 3, 2, 1.
Yo. This is a real thing. Okay, so I lived in Utah for 5 years and I went to school. Some of y'all know this, some of y'all don't. If you're new here, you probably don't. Now you know. And this is real life, like the thing. And people talk about how black men are sexualized based on this right here, which true, maybe not, who knows? But I'm just saying, black men are sexualized in this sense. So I would say I agree.
Nobody
About what I expected.
Yo, like, okay, that one we're keeping. Like, that's what the general notion is.
I think it gets into the issue of positive and negative stereotypes and how people need to realize that there is no such thing, because what you do is you put people into a box where they're expected to live up to a standard. And I feel like it's over sexualizing black men. You know, you should want to date someone more for the pleasure physically that they can bring to you.
Yep,
and I know
like
I've talked to people personally who would be like, oh, you're lucky you're black. You have a big member. And I'm like, well, I have other things to offer too. Like, I'm well spoken. I have a good sense of humor. I'm well traveled. Like, you go straight to like what's underneath my zipper.
And I just tell them 2-inch Punisher, you know, don't expect too much.
Actually, this is the real thing. A lot of time I'll say Team Lil Meat, just because, you know, you want to subvert expectations. That way, because everybody's expecting like, this dude's gonna pull out that hammer, he's gonna pull out that thing. So I definitely understand where he's coming from with that. And then the second thing is, this is one of the things when people talk about, oh, there's pros to being a black man. That's automatically this. Like there's no like, okay, yeah, this is a pro, and that just outweighs everything else you have to go through as a black man. Moving on.
I think a lot of people watch a lot of porn too, and that's where it comes from. Like when you watch a lot of porn, you see, you know, these mandingos and, you know, 10-inch monsters, and they expect that to be reality. And a lot of times it's not, but that's the expectation that they have. So
Black men cheat on their significant others far more than other races.
Negative. People cheat, regardless of race, regardless of religion. That's just how it is. That's how relationships work. So I would definitely disagree with this one.
I'm just like, where is this study published? Did someone do some research where they calculated numbers over a given period of time?
The reason why it was going to be neutral is because I don't know the numbers. Like, I don't
that's
know.
what I'm saying.
I don't know
That's why I'm
if
like,
that's true or not.
I disagree.
So I came this way because of the keyword far more. I was like, do black men cheat? In generally, like you're not apt to not.
Actually, now that I think about it, I severely disagree with this. You know why? Because black men don't cheat. Stay woke, baby.
Cheat because of the color of your skin.
To prescribe this to race feels nefarious in a way that I feel like it was coming from a place of somebody that got cheated on by a black man. Like, it was like, yeah, black men cheat all the time. Come on, this doesn't even make sense.
Black men don't cheat. Faithful Black Men's Association.
Men are attracted to big butts.
Yes.
I think it ties into hip hop and the whole strip club scene right now.
No. Fuck that. I need to ask. Don't pull up with the flat buns. Pull up looking like some cardboard, looking like Plank from Ed, Edd n Eddy. That's not bussing. I need something back there I can hold on to.
Bro, black people are funny, and if you ever try and roast one of them, they will roast your ass so hard that you'll have no roast to rebuttal.
I agree that black people are funny. I don't agree that every black person can roast you. I done seen some white dudes they quick on the draw, and they'll serve you up. So nice if you try to come after them. So I don't think this necessarily has to do, well, okay, so I guess kinda I can agree because of the environment that most black men are raised in. You always have to be quick on your toes because people are gonna come after you, whether it's about your haircut or your shoes or your clothes. People can come after you, so you have to be ready for it. But there are some other races that are also raised in that environment, or they come up in that environment, or they're around people and they have the same interactions. Like, I agree, because from my upbringing and from what I've seen, it's typically a black thing, I guess, but that's not to say it doesn't happen with white people, Mexican people, Indian people, Asian people. Like, anybody can roast.
The N-word should stop being used by all races.
Okay. This is tough. All races? Because that means black people in general have to stop using it as well. So if there's more context behind this one, ER, out of here for everybody. Out of here. It's just because that one has the most derogatory history behind it. So I would say ER, out of here, because I think there's two different versions of the N-word to me. And also, like, I didn't face racism. So this one doesn't exactly have as much of a punch for me as my mom would probably definitely agree.
I just think the N-word, when you look at the root of the word, even slaves would use it to describe other black people when accepting their supposed oppression. So I just think, when I think about that, I don't think you can do anything to erase the history and the blood that's been shed on that word. There are so many people who the last thing they heard was the N-word as they were being murdered. So when I think about that, yes, I think the word should stop being used.
Personally, me, I feel like it kind of starts with us. The fact that we make it so cool within music and within like entertainment that it lets other people feel like they have a pass argument, or that it's okay because my favorite rapper said it, or I heard it here, or you guys say it all the time. How come I can't say it? But at the end of the day, it's black culture pain. And if anyone's going to be using it, it should only be us. And that's it.
So we're trying to hold on to literally a word that only has meaning because we add meaning to it.
I mean, respectfully, I ain't trying to hear that, right? Like, I feel like the only reason it's policed so much, and I feel like the only reason we even have like this debate or this debacle over whether we can use it or not is because we're black people. And I'm not one of those people that think everything is racist and all that, but in this specific instance, right? In several instances, women in many instances have reclaimed the word bitch to be a term of endearment. There are, in the 90s, there was heavier women reclaimed the word fat, obviously respelling and things like that. But I feel like in those instances, nobody bats an eye.
I didn't even think of that. He's right. He's right with that. You can change the meaning of a word, or at least take it and flip the power of it. So he's right.
Why is that understood? But with this, it's so confusing. Like, oh, I don't know if like, you know, when there are boundaries set, and that word is one of the boundaries that I think we have respectfully and rightfully set up for ourselves. So I don't want to, I'm not trying to hear the like, if we use it, why can't it? We do that all the time with a bunch of different things. And I don't think this should be one of the areas where we're like, yeah, let everybody see.
Homophobia is a big issue in the black community.
I think this depends. I would say agree. I would say somewhat agree. I know people who they have a problem with gay people, and I have friends that are gay people. I got gay family members. I don't have a problem with any of them. You know, everybody has their own thing. Everybody wants what they want around them. In the black community, I would say yeah, it's a thing. You know, even when I say no homo sometimes, and which has just kind of been ingrained in me since a kid, which is something I probably need to change. In the black community, it's just looked down upon being gay. dudes clown other dudes for being gay or saying some gay stuff. If you look back at that Boondocks episode, I think it's called Pause. I think the episode is called Pause, with the Tyler Perry parody. And he says, people say pause now. You can say something that can be deemed as homosexual. I do think a lot of that stuff is out of hand. It's like, oh yeah, like, hey, you go get if I go get a Subway sandwich and I say, hey, I need double meat. Now I feel, if I'm around the homies, I feel inclined to be like, no homo, or I'll say pause. So yes, I agree.
A lot of us black men, we will rather be friends with the homie that, you know, probably has rape attached to his name than the homie that's part of the LGBTQ plus community.
Whoa. Whoa. Nah. Nah, you on your own, big dog.
And I think that that's something that, you know, we got to work on as people, because my thing is, I don't understand the whole big phobia of, okay, what he decides to do in his free time or behind closed doors, why does that bother you so much? Why does that affect you? Like, why do you feel like it's such like the scum of the earth?
Agreed.
And I also think it comes from religion, because I don't want to get too controversial with that, but people are very religious, especially in the black community, you know, Christians. And you know, when you talk about the Bible, you know, they say, you know, homosexuality is a sin.
Yes, the religion thing. A lot of black people come back to religion when it comes to the gay stuff. And it always was weird to me, because they're like, oh, homosexuality is a sin. Yeah, but a lot of things are a sin. Hey, Mary, you were just jealous because Susie got a new car and you still got the beat up Lexus. Jealousy is a sin, and all sin is equal. So why we can't, as black people and any religion, you can't say, oh, one sin is greater than the other sin, when in the Bible it says that all sin is sin equally.
Heterosexual men have a fear that homosexual men will treat them how they treat women, if that makes sense. And so they're afraid of that treatment. And I'm on somewhat agree, because I'm rather torn. I think I've lived a life where I'm around very open-minded, inclusive people. So I'm not sure how big of an issue it is in the community, but I know that in the black church sphere, homosexuality is often made out to be the worst thing that you can be. There's almost nothing worse than being gay. And I think that's also where some of the homophobia comes from. We like to ignore all the other sins, all the other things that the Bible outlines that are not, you know, holy. And then we just take homosexuality and we make it the worst.
What's good, y'all? Future C-Bro here. This video actually ran longer than I thought it was gonna run, so I ended up cutting it into 2 parts. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. And also, as usual, suggest some stuff for me to react to. Peace.
C-Bro out.